Shalom. First and foremost, as always, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and salutations to you brothers that push his word in truth and in sincerity. Coming back with another lesson. And in this lesson, uh, this is a article from floridagov.com. And as you see, it says the title reads Governor Ron DeSantis announces legislation to protect Floridians from a federally controlled central bank digital currency and surveillance state. All right, so this is more of, um, you know, Esau being divided, because we know that the central bank digital currency is what the elites are rolling out to have full control over everybody, everybody on the planet. All right. And the Fed now system pertaining to America is rolling out in July. But you got a governor that's not with it now, whether he's controlled opposition or he's seriously against this central bank digital currency. It shows that Esau is divided. All right, Esau's kingdom is divided, which further lets us know that we're in the end. Okay, now it says Governor DeSantis, first in the nation proposal, would amend Florida's Uniform Commercial Code of commercial code to explicitly prohibit the use of federal or foreign CBDC as money. All right. It says Tallahassee, Florida, which that's the capital of Florida is Tallahassee, which is like northwest Florida. It says today Governor Ron DeSantis announced comprehensive legislation to protect Floridians from the Biden administration's weaponization of the financial sector through a central bank digital currency. The legislative proposal protects consumers and businesses from a federally controlled CBDC by expressly prohibiting the use of a federally adopted central bank digital currency as money within Florida's Uniform Commercial Code, instituting protections against a central global currency by prohibiting any CBDC issued by a foreign reserve or foreign sanctioned central bank, calling on like-minded states to join Florida in adopting similar prohibitions within their respective commercial codes to fight back against the concept nationwide. All right, so he's calling on other states to join in with this. Now you got certain states, red states, that primarily states that primarily vote Republican, hence being red states. They ain't with it, man. They ain't with it. Okay, so states like Arizona, a red state, Texas, a red state, and other states. All right, so this is good news, man, because this is showing a clear divide within this nation itself. All right, it says the Biden administration's effort to inject a centralized bank digital currency is about surveillance and control, said Governor Ron DeSantis. Today's announcement will protect Florida consumers and businesses from the reckless adoption of a centralized digital dollar, which will stifle innovation and promote government-sanctioned surveillance. Florida will not side with economic central planners. We will not adopt policies that threaten personal economic freedom and security. Governor DeSantis is ahead of the curve when it comes to protecting individual rights. A central bank digital currency is the cornerstone of a federal government that could track each and every transaction that happens in the world, said State Chief Financial Officer Jimmy Patronus. It says there will be no privacy, and if there is no privacy, there are no rights. In the same way, Florida is fighting back against the IRS. We have we need to fight back against this program. It's how we protect freedom, liberty, and prosperity. The proposal continues the strong track record of Governor DeSantis pushing back on an overreaching federal government, said Foundation for Government Accountability CEO Taryn Bragdon. Our money, says in God we trust. The central bank digital currency changes that to in government we trust. That's wrong, and I'm grateful for the governor's continued pushback of an out of control DC bureaucracy. All right. A federally controlled central bank digital currency is the most recent way the Davos elites are attempting to backdoor woke ideology like environmental, social, and governance into the United States financial system, threatening individual privacy and economic freedom. Unlike a decentralized digital currency, a CBDC is directly controlled and issued by the government to consumers, giving government bureaucrats the ability to see all consumer activity and the power to cut off access to goods and services for customers. All right. Additionally, a federally sanctioned CBDC, as proposed by the Biden administration, would diminish the role of community banks and credit unions in our financial system, as CBDC currency would be a direct liability of the federal government rather than of a chartered financial institution, shrinking market lending power. Today's announcement builds on a series of actions taken by the governor to prevent the proliferation of woke ideology into the financial sector and American daily living, and the Biden administration's continued efforts to promote a central control state, including lending an alliance of 18 states to fight against Biden's ESG financial fraud. All right, so a quick article, but in the article it tells you that they're going from paper money, which on the dollar it says in God we trust, which that guy they're referring to as Satan. All right, it's not talking about Yahweh Shem Yahushai, it's talking about Satan. All right, so they're leaving off from that to propose and bring in this CBDC, which is all going to be government controlled. Okay, it's all going to be government controlled. Now, this is beautiful because if you have more states jump on the bandwagon, that's going to throw a monkey wrench into the elites program pertaining to America. All right, which that's going to do nothing but brew up civil war. All right, which civil war is inevitable, and it's going to be a beautiful thing, man, because you're going to have Edomites, Edomite on Edomite crime at an all-time high. All right, so Matthew 12:25, getting to the scriptures, it says, "And Yahushua knew the thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand." Okay, and if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? All right, so these Edomites are the seed of Satan. All right, the Edomites on the planet Earth are the physical counterparts to the spiritual demon Satan. Now, they're at odds with each other. All right, you got some that's for central bank digital currency and the Fed Now system, and then you got others that are adverse to that. So naturally, that's going to lead to conflict. Okay, and with that conflict, that's going to have the Edomites, or their power structure, be weakened to the point to where all the prophecies written in the Holy Scriptures pertaining to their kingdom falling is going to come to pass, man. All right. So as they force this central bank digital currency and a Fed now system, and ultimately that C-hip, that microchip, all right, the mark of the beast, you're gonna see their kingdom crumble, exponentially. All right. Isaiah 19:2, it says, "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom." Okay. So the Lord is he's gonna have that white on white crime, like I said, or Edomite on Edomite crime. All right, because they're not white. So like it, that red on red crime, that crimson crime. All right, because the modern day Egyptians are these so-called Americans. Okay, so they're gonna be fighting one against another. All right, it says city against city and kingdom against kingdom, because you're gonna have whole cities adverse to another city. You can have one city that's a liberal, known for being a liberal city, and right next door to it is a city that's known for being a conservative. All right, so that's going to lead to war, civil war. All right, you can have one state that's right next to another state. The borderline of that state. Two states that share a border. One side of the border is liberal, and the other side of the border is conservative. So it's going to be a natural clashing. What if it's goods and that one city produces, and then goods that another city produces, and they're dependent upon each other. But when it comes to a matter of one city is using a central bank digital currency, but then the other city's not, they're relying on a barter system. Like it's gonna get all crazy, man. And it also said one city against city and kingdom against kingdom. All right, because Esau's divided. You got France that just came back from a visit with China, and they're advocating against America in certain ways. All right, so Esau himself is divided. All right, those certain European countries is not with what America is doing pertaining to that war over in Ukraine. But then you got some that are for it. All right, you got some that majority is against using that Federal Reserve dollar. All right, the U.S. dollar, the fiat currency. You got a lot of European countries that aren't with it. Okay, so this place is definitely on the way out. Okay. It says, "And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof," all right, because America is not on the high horse like it used to be. That proud American woo-ha spirit, woo-hoo, that cracker spirit, all right, that shit is played out, man. Okay, and I will destroy the counsel thereof. All right, all the information in the documents that's being leaked, showing how America's been lying, how they fabricated numbers pertaining to the war over there in Ukraine, been lying about everything, allowing sex trafficking to go on. All right, those Northern Kingdom children and women and children that's coming across the border, being tracked, with bracelets, wristbands that show how much they're worth. All right, and coming here to the Americas to be sex trafficked. All right, all that's coming out, man. All right, the Lord is destroying the counsel of Babylon the Great. All right, and the nations are seeing this place nakedness, like the scripture say. And they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers and to them that have familiar spirits and to the wizards. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord of hosts. All right. Continuing on. This is 2nd Ezra 15 and 14. It says, woe to the world and to them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. All right. So civil war is coming, make no doubt about it. And when that happens, these people that have these weapons, all right, that have guns, all right, they're gonna use them. Okay, they're gonna use them. It says, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and the one people shall stand up against another, and the swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. And what do you think people gonna do when a dollar collapses? And it's all utter chaos. Okay. When the Fed system, is operational for however long it's operational. All right. Now, who's to say that don't collapse? And then they like, okay, we gotta usher in this RFID chip. Then you're gonna have a lot of people that ain't gonna be with it. But at the same time, you're gonna have a lot of people that are with it. So that's when it's gonna get real ugly. Okay, because you're gonna have people, the average so-called American has guns. So when those that have it, are living not comfortably, but they got food and whatnot. People that don't got food, that don't got water, all right, that don't got shelter, they're gonna be looking to get that. Okay. That's why verse 16 it says, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Okay, so looking at the case with Florida, right? There's certain states that's gonna be with, the agenda of the elites ushering in that central bank digital currency and the Fed now system and things of that nature, and the citizens ain't gonna be with it. They're not gonna want any part of that, so they're gonna riot. All right, they're gonna be pulling up to these senators and congressmen and governors and mayors' houses. All right, sheriffs' houses and just doing some crazy shit, man. All right, that's the time we living in. All right, a lot of bugged out people out there that's just fed up. Okay, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard the kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. All right, it's gonna be roadblocks. It's gonna be, not to forget 15-minute cities. Certain areas is going to be cut off. Okay. It says, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. All right, that's civil war, man. You're going to have militaries going through sweeping houses, rounding people up, getting them shackled up to take to a concentration camp. All right, all kind of civil war is coming. All right. Let me see. Verse 19, it says, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So it's going to be a famine. It's going to be a famine too. They're already destroying food, destroying chickens, onions. You name it. They're trying to say that cattle is actually polluting the air. All right, it's going to get real crazy, man. And there's more to this chapter, but I believe that serves a purpose. All right, so civil war is coming, and Satan is divided against himself. All right, America is not united. This is not the United States. All right, these various states are divided when it comes to when it comes to political issues. All right, to financial issues, when it comes decency, morality, so on and so forth. All right, so things is the pot is about to the lid is about to blow off the pot. All right, because it's steaming and that heat is turned up high and you know what I'm saying. It's about to be spaghetti sauce all over the stove. All right, but there's once the first thing once that first whatever is gonna be, once that actually happens, that first what's the word I'm looking for? That first man, it's a word I got it in my mind. Once that first situation, or whatever the case may be, once that first situation pops off, it's gonna steamroll. All right, and this is all good news for the prophets, for the men of the Lord, for the elect. All right, because that means that we're close to getting up out of here, and we're close to all the prophecies pertaining to Babylon the Great being fulfilled. All right, which the last one is going to be that destruction, which we look forward to. So Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson. Until next time, I say shalom.